back to what we said last time because
So we're gonna recap, as always, recap. Okay, so we're talking about an amazing thing that he said in this right. So we're in the middle of this three parak series, which is going to discuss the three um, layers of human impact, the three levels of human impact. One is through action, one is through speech, and the other one is through thought. Right. So we're going through the first layer, which is through action. Okay, and then the action, he was saying that every action has ramifications, has a ripple effect, depending obviously on how much goes into the action. That was point one, and point two was that that the action itself, I don't know how to say, the action itself is the is there's no meaning. There's no such thing as Gehenim and Gan Eden. There's no such thing that there are no pre-existing places or no pre-existing statuses called Gehenna and Gan Eden. The action that a person does, that action creates the Gan Eden if it's a good action, or the Gehenna if it's a bad action.
For that particular individual.
For that particular individual, yes. The action itself creates the state of Gan Eden or the state of Gehenna. Okay, and he was just saying that, so because we presume that all of the negative actions are temporary and limited, all our negative actions are external to us, they're temporary Yetzaharas, so therefore the Gehenna is also temporary. Gehenna, he compared it to a leech. He brings a chazal that compares it to a leech. A leech, when it or at least symbolically, is it sucks out all the bad blood. They used to have these leeches treatments, right? It sucks out the bad blood, and then the leech itself dies out from the bad blood that it absorbs, right? So that's what Gehenna is. Gehenna is the Avera itself creates the Gehenna. It's a temporary thing, and as soon as the Gehenna sucks out all of the damage, so to speak, that was created by the Avera, the Gehenna itself disappears, and the person is no longer in Gehenna.
Right, so people do not have like unified Gehenna. It's like each one has his own, and
right.
One...
Right. I mean, again, when we're talking about the world of spiritual existence, there's no like, it's not a physical place. It's not a, I'm saying we could be technically, if you want to think physically, we could be in the same place at the same time, so to speak, but have totally different existences, or live in totally different worlds almost, right? So that doesn't have to be any particular geographical location, or it doesn't matter. So that's the idea. So the good actions, they are, because in essence every mitzvah that we do is a spiritual act. Again, we might not feel it that way, but it's a godlike act. So therefore, every time we do a spiritual action, a good action, we are creating that Gan Eden, and we are in that Gan Eden even while being here in this world. We are in that Gan Eden right at that very moment. We are living in it. We are experiencing it.
Yeah, but you're not supposed to get the reward in this world.
Right, you don't. But
so how do you experience the Gan Eden?
You don't experience it, but you're there anyways. That's the again, we're used to very physical appreciation of the world, but we are here as a physical body. But at the same time, again, there's no time in Gan Eden, right? So in Gan Eden, we're already there, so to speak. We already lived our lives, and we're already there technically. We're just, I mean. Or it happened. There's no time. I don't know how to explain. There's no time.
No, but then what about like one action can just close everything that you achieved up to now to turn over?
To turn over, sure. But again, there's no time over there.
Yeah, but then it defeats the whole purpose of everything that you have created. Even though there's no time, all of a sudden disappears, and whatever that Gehenna that you built, there's no longer there for you.
Gehenna is temporary.
It's
not just Gehenna.
Eventually, you're gonna end up in Gan Eden anyways.
No, but it's an option. It's not a definite.
Unless you no.
Right. It's not a definite. It's not a definite. Some souls will just cease to exist. They lose their ability. They eat up all of their Gan Eden here, and goodbye.
you're a Hitler, yeah.
Yeah.
No, but it's not just Hitler. It's like you also can be like in between, right? Where like
But not
again, I
always.
don't know, but the point is, it's none of this. I mean, the whole idea of time and space that we're used to thinking
does not
is
exist.
just a creation
Mhm.
that an arbitrary creation that HaKadosh Baruch Hu put together for this time period. But while we are here, we're also there. We are also, one thing has nothing to do with the other. Are you going to say, but I didn't live my life here? Okay, you didn't. But as your life continues, your status over there changes. But it maybe already changed because there's no time, or maybe it will change because there's no time. There's no time. I don't know how else to explain. There's no time. So,
No, I hear your point. My only issue with that is
there's no time. There's no space. Where is pick any abstract concept. Let's say love. Where is love?
nowhere.
And everywhere and nowhere and right. So we human being, or all of our we are an idea, we are a concept, where are our names, where is it? I don't know. Right now it happens to be it's located in this physical body, but that's again, that's part of the arbitrary creation that the was created by putting us into a physical, this arbitrary world with physical laws. But
So we're basically in our own little prisons until we leave.
right, primarily what we are is Tzelem Elokim. We are an image of Hashem, a certain image of Hashem, and that image of Hashem that we are is not our physical body. I mean, it's that energy, you could say, solidified into a physical entity. Okay. Anyways, all right. So so he's gonna continue. So let's just finish up. Let's try to finish up this paragraph. Maybe start in the next one. So, but so we're up to over here, where from the words V'zeu she'omer Razal. V'zeu she'omer Razal, Eruvin Yutes. It's
Second paragraph.
וזה שאמרו?
Да.
וזה שאמרו.
Razal.
No, before that. Here. V'zeh shomer Rabbeinu Zal. V'zeh shomer Razal in Eruvin Reshoyim mamikin lohem Gehenim. Reshoyim, they deepen for themselves Gehenim. Retzoy Noloimer, it means to say Shehein Atzmi, they themselves Hamamikin La'atzman Gehenim, they themselves deepen for themselves the Gehenim. Umarchivin Oisoy, and widen it, expand it. Umavirin Oisoy B'chatoehem, and they fire it up through their sins. Kamei Shekosov, as it is written, Hein Kulchem Koidchei Eish. Not exactly, but they all of them are stokers of fire. Lechu beur eschem, go into the furnace of your sins, of your fire. Ubezikos beartem miyodi hoisazois lechem. I'm not sure exactly how to put this puzzle together, but it's the same idea, that the fire of the Gehenim is through our own actions. Okay, lechein, therefore. So we know this story that Anshe Knesset Gedola, they killed off the Yetzer Hara. So the story goes that they initially killed off all Yetzer Hara. They killed off both the Yetzer Hara for Avodah Zarah, and then they killed off also the Yetzer Hara for Arayos and all the illicit relationships. And then they realized, wait, you can't do that, because then a person will have no motivation to just do anything, go out to work, go out to marry, just no kills. Right? You need a little bit of Yetzer Hara to be present in the world, right? So then, but he's saying, when the Anshe Knesset Gedola grabbed onto the Yetzer Hara, nichba oz gam haGehenim me'atzmei. The Zohar says that the nichba, it extinguished then even the Gehenim as well. Okay, k'mash kosef b'Zohar truma, k'gavno de chayavaya mischamim in benura the Yetzer Hara. In the same way, the chayavaya is the obligated ones. In other words, the Rishoyim. Just like the Rishoyim, mischamimin, they heat themselves up. benura the Yetzirah, with the fire of Yetzirah, right? V'chulu b'chol chimuma v'chimuma, on every additional chimum that this heat they produce. Hochi toikad nura de Gehenim. So too, in accordance with that heat that they heat themselves up, so too is stoked the fire of Gehenim. Zimna chada. So he explains one time, meaning that time when the Anshe Knesset Gedola killed off the Yetzirah. Lo yishtakach Yetzirah be'alma. One time there was not found Yetzirah in the world. V'chola hu zimna. So all of that time, kava nura de Gehenim, the fire of Gehenim were extinguished. V'lo yitoiked klal, and wouldn't burn at all. Ahader Yetzirah le'asri, when the Yetzirah was returned to its place. Shoru chayove alma le'ischamu mebei. The chayove, again the Rishonim, went back to the world le'ischamu mebei, to be heat up in it. Shari nura de Gehenim le'itoikoda. Then the fire of Gehenim returned to its burning. The Gehenim lo yitoikad, for the Gehenim will not burn ele b'chamimu the tukfa the Yetzirah the chayavai, but only with the heat of the tukfa, of the strength of the Yetzirah of the chayavai, of the Rishonim. Okay, so again we see from this idea is somewhat expressed in the Zohar that the fire of the Yetzirah is the creator of the fire of the Gehenim. Okay, good. V'zeu she'omer HaKosov, and this is what the pasuk says. This is the crux. This pasuk is really the crux of what he's saying. He says, "Koil poyal odom yishalim loy, ki poyal odom yishalim loy." For the action of man, he will be paid to him. Okay, the action of man will be paid to him. So it sounds like it's not that you could read it in two ways. You could read it either again that for the action of man, the same, for each action that a person does, he will be paid for, either for good or for bad. But he's explaining, if you take it literally, you read it exactly the way it says the action of man will be paid to him. The action itself is the thing that will be paid back to him. The action is the creator of the reward, whether for good or for bad. The action itself, Yishalim Lo, will be paid to him. The action will be paid to him. Sha'pu'ula atzma, the action itself, hatoy v'him ra'ah, whether it's good or bad, chas v'shalom, hi atzma hatashlumim shlo, it itself is the payment to him. Ba'ayin Zohar Koirach, and look at the Zohar Koirach. Okay, v'zeu she'omru be'avos, and this is what they said in Pirkei Avos. Again, this famous phrase, she'schar mitzvah mitzvah, schar aveira aveira. Right, the reward for a mitzvah is a mitzvah, and the reward for the an aveira is an aveira. Now, so we usually understand it to mean that if you do one mitzvah, in its reward you're going to get to do another mitzvah, or if you do one aveira, in the reward of that aveira you're going to get to do another aveira. Right? But he's saying no. Well, he should have said, right, that's not enough, because that's the next part of the Mishnah. The Mishnah says mitzvah gereres mitzvah, v'aveira gereres aveira. What is this aspect of it? There's two lines to it. There's the reward of the mitzvah is the mitzvah. So he's saying no, it's much more. Again, take it as literally as you can possibly take it. The reward of the mitzvah is the mitzvah itself, meaning that action of mitzvah is the Gan Eden. That is what, when a person does a mitzvah, that is. Again, what is Gan Eden? Meaning, what is Olam Haba? We know it's Gemara says, right? Tzaddikim are sitting, but Rashem Ne'anim Meziva Shechina. Right? All Olam Haba is the Ne'ana, is the Hana, the benefit that a person gets from the Shechina. And like the Ramchal explains that the whole purpose of the world was that Hashem gave an opportunity to a person to connect back to God. Right, separated God, Tzelem Elokim, from himself, and through mitzvahs he gets to be able to cling back to the Creator, to the source, and that's the greatest reward that you can get. God is infinite, so the greatest reward that you could possibly get is the ability to experience godliness. That is the ultimate pleasure. That not like the Muslims, they're 72. That's it. It's a joke, and that's a stupid physical, like a very vulgar type of an idea. It's a joke. It's for stupid people. We understand that that's nothing. We understand that the greatest reward that a person can get is the ability to experience godliness, right? To melt into godliness, but still retain your identity. That's the paradox of this reward. You melt into godliness, so you experience godliness, but you still retain it in independence. So therefore, because if you completely melt into godliness, then you're God, and you can't experience the reward, right? But the reward is the ability to melt into godliness, but yet still retain your unique essence, right? Your unique tzelem Elokim, and so you melt into godliness, right? So every mitzvah that a person does is the tool to melt into godliness. That's what it is. Each mitzvah is whatever it is. It's the thing itself. It's melting into godliness, because each mitzvah is, again, it's something that's godlike that we are doing. We, especially in Shabbos, we have it in Shabbos. That's like the clearest place where we have it, because why do we keep Shabbos? Because God rested, right? So what we do on Shabbos is what He did, right? So we are doing His action, right? So by emulating Him, we are becoming like Him, so to speak, and we are melting into godliness. Every time we do a mitzvah, we are in Olam Haba. That's our Olam Haba, the ability to melt into godliness. We don't feel it right now because that's the decree. The decree is that while you are in the physical world, you don't feel it. But if that decree would be removed, we would actually feel that how each mitzvah is a total, this connection to God, right? So therefore, so to take it literally, again, if you look at the Pirkei Avos line as literally as you can get, schar mitzvah. What is the schar mitzvah? It is the mitzvah itself is the schar mitzvah. What's the schar avera? Avera is the opposite of godliness, is the removal away from godliness. That is the Gehenim. Gehenim is the distance from godliness. That's the worst punishment that you could possibly think of, is the distance from godliness, the physicality of it. So when a person experiences the Avera, he is in Gehenna. He is distant from God. That's the worst punishment that could be imagined. Right? So schar mitzvah, schar Avera. Zeu shekosov in Kahelas. This is what's written in Kahelas. Ki es kol ma'aseh yavi b'mishpat. All of the actions are brought to judgment. Rotze loimer, again, ha'ma'aseh atzma, the action itself. Ha'omedas v'nir shemes k'moy shehik, the way it stands in all of its repercussions, as it is, that's what's brought to judgment. Okay, all of again, like we said in the beginning of the chapter, that we're not looking at an action itself. Okay, I put on tefillin, that's my action, right? That's brought to judgment. No, every action I do has symbolism, it has meaning, it has repercussions in all of the worlds, and it's how much light it brought into the world, how much destruction brought into the world. All of that, the sum total of the action, Yaviba Mishpat, is brought to judgment, it's brought to light. Okay, L'chein Omru Razal. So too the rabbi said, Kol ha'omer HaKadosh Baruch Hu Vatron. Anybody says HaKadosh Baruch Hu is a Vatron. How do you translate the word Vatron? Vatron means like somebody who like gives freebie, like disregards. Okay, here's let's say you need to give, I don't know, in the store you need to give $8.07, and the guy says, don't worry, okay, $8 is enough, right? 7 cents, who cares, right? So vatron is from the word like, it's nothing. Don't worry about it, right? It's, I don't know how. It's probably an English word for it. Doesn't come to my mind. Like
well, it's different.
Insignificant.
Right, but HaKadosh Baruch Hu is a vatron. Vatron is again somebody who lets everything slide, right?
Okay.
Right, so anybody who says that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is a vatron, and we all say that on a deep level, again, we all think that. We all think that like, what does God care if I do A or if I do B? He's gonna. It's nothing. It's nothing. Again, even in the Averis, we realize our Averis, we think it's not such a big deal. I mean, that's a natural inclination.
Is it like every generation has its biggest thing? So generation before us, it was the masculine, right? And is this the biggest challenge for our generation?
Could be. That's a good point. I mean, who knows? I don't have Ruach HaKodesh. I don't know, but it would certainly fits. It certainly fits our generation, that we think nothing is significant. That's true. Anyway, so anybody who says that Kosh Baruch Hu is a vatron is a disregarder. Yivot Ruchayev, his life will be disregarded. Okay. So v'chein will be Yerushalmi, and the same thing is in Yerushalmi. Perek Chamisha, there's Kol Bereishis Rabbah, u'betanchuma, right? U'b'shecher tov. So he brings in a lot of other places where the same statement is mentioned, but he says l'chayri pole, and really, it could be. It's a wonder. Halo yafilu odam ish chesed. If you take a person who's a ish chesed, a kind person, misnaheg b'midas vatronos, he does occasionally practice this midah of disregarding, right? Like we said. Oh, change, don't keep the change. Oh, here's an extra thing. That's part of chesed. Part of chesed for a person is no big deal.
Right.
So what, can't God do the same? Can't God also just let it go? Can't he let it go? But he says, but no, according to what we said, it makes sense. It's impossible, right? But it's exactly the way we described it above. No, our punishments, meaning our Gehenim, is not an oynish. It's not like a punishment or a nekima or some kind of a revenge. Oh, you do bad boy, you did this. That's so you're gonna get. I'm gonna give this to you. That's not how the system works. Rak chatoyim tiradei fra'ah. The sinners, tiradei fra'ah, the evil pursues them. She'achet atzmai hu onshay. The sin itself is the punishment. So it's one and the same. It's one and the same. Again, we think of two things. I'm going to do A, I'm going to get B in return. He says no. The A itself is the punishment, right? So how could it be Hashem will disregard it? Can't disregard it. It's the thing itself is the punishment you create. It's even more than the right? We could think of it as the consequences, but I think he's saying it's more than it's the thing itself. It's not even the consequence of the thing. It is the thing itself, right? So like you punch a wall, and it hurts. It's not that it's a consequence. It's you're hurting yourself. It is the thing itself. Okay. So Kime'esa Bria Kova who is Baruch Shmoy, from the time of the creation, Kodesh Baruch Hu set it up that way. Kis Kol Sidri and Hogas Hailomis, all of the orders of the worlds. Sheyutu Lu'uyim Kifi Hisoiris Mase Odom. They're dependent on the action of men. Hatoivim v'imroim, whether they're good or bad. Shekol Masa v'inyonav nirshomim me'eleim. All of a person's actions and the surrounding aspects are nirshomim, are etched into it by itself. Kol echad b'mekayra b'shoyshoy. Each action in the root of the action, in the source and the root of the action. And therefore he is mukhrach, he is guaranteed, he is obligated to receive his judgment via the koiches atuma, the forces of tuma shehigdir b'masav, that he strengthened through his actions, kifi erich v'inyan apagam, through the measurements and the aspect of the damage that his actions caused. And of course, once he receives that judgment, so then the pagam itself is rectified, it's removed, right? As soon as he received not received, but as long as he expired, right? As long as he lived through the damage that he caused, then the damage ceases to exist, like we said before. So either that way, or he could, of course, remove it through the koyach hatshuva, shemagas at shorsho elim, because koyach hatshuva goes into the source of the olam hatshuva, into this lofty source of the world of tshuva. The world of tshuva is kind of like a world above all of these things. So therefore, you can kind of reach into tshuva and then bring down the kapara for it. Alma de cheiru unehiru de kula. It's the world of tshuva is referred to the world of freedom and light for all of them, all of them. Umishom misatzel v'nishpat Yosef eskush. From there, he I don't know. He extrapolates and he brings down the Tosefes Kedusha, the additional of Kedusha El Yoina, v'or mavhik, and this bright light lehosem to destroy ulechalois and to eradicate kol tuma, all tuma ulesakein oilamas kamikoidim, and to restore the worlds to their original state. Ubeisroin or chodesh mo'elam hatshuva, and from this additional light, this new light that comes down from the Olam HaTshuva, Hamoifia Aleim, that comes down upon them, right? So there are two ways. Once a person does the action, which is the chet, so the chet itself is Gehenna. The chet itself is destruction. The chet itself is the judgment. So there are only two ways to get rid of it: either to experience and to live through all of the repercussions, or to undo the damage through the tshuva process that we have. Lezois, therefore, ein shayach v'tonus b'zeh. There's no way that you could. There's the ability to disregard it at all. V'zeu shomer b'ovis, again a different line in Pirkei Avos. B'chol ma'asecha b'sefer nichtovim. All of your actions, right? Pirkei Avos says know what's right, know what's above you, right? Listening ear, right? And all your actions b'sefer nichtovim. All your actions are written into a book. Right, so it doesn't say that Hashem writes all your actions into the book. It says the lashon is b'chol masecha, all your actions b'sefer nichtovim are written into the book. Hayno sheme'atzman nichtovim, they are written by themselves. When you're shomim l'mayla, they are right. The book is a symbolic thing, meaning in the existence, which is you can call the whole existence as a book. Mm-hmm. So every action writes itself into kind of the history of this book, and therefore it's there. Now that you can't disregard it. It's there. It created the damage it created, and now that damage has to be cleaned up, and there's no way to do it either through Gehenna or through tshuva, but not through disregard. It's not feasible. Okay, so that's Perek Yud Beis. Now we can start with Perek Yud Gimel. Okay, so now we're going into Dibur. So that was Maisa. That was action. Now we're going to Dibur. V'chein be'inyan hisoyrus shulamaylo, and the same thing through the hisoyrus, through the alertness of that's above al yidei bechinas dibur, that's created through the bechina of speech. So he brings a pasuk. Amos Hanavi. Pasuk in Amos Hanavi says, Kihine Yoitzer Harim. Hashem is a Yoitzer Harim. He is a former of mountains. The word Yoitzer means formation, right? So he's like on slipayet, on gore, right? Slipayet gore. Yoitzer Harim forms mountains. Uboire Ruach, and he creates. You can translate Ruach here in one of two ways. Ruach either means spirit or wind, right? So he's a former of mountain and creator of wind. Umagid le'odam ma'asichai, and he tells a person what is his speech. Okay, so strange juxtaposition over here, right? So a person he forms mountains, creates wind, and tells a person ma'asechai, what is his siya. Sicha is like light talk. Ma'asechai tells a person ma'asechai, right? So what does this pasuk mean? It tells a person ma'aseicher. What is his speech? So Kiyomru b'Zohar, they say in Zohar, and a few different places, right? All this Shaloshan Hagoda, all these places that first time he's addressing one idea here. That this word, which is now very apropos, the Loshan Hagoda, this word which means Hagoda, which means to tell or retell, right? It's Shayach al Rosa de Milsa. It doesn't refer to just tell things, describe things as they are, but Hagoda means to describe the essence of something. The Rosa de Milsa, kind of the essence of the thing, the secret of the thing, the theme of the thing. Not just describe A, did this, B did that. It's the analysis of it. So Haggadah is not just telling external descriptions, but again, it's an analyzing type of a speech. Okay? That's his point one. So when we're talking about Magid le'oda ma'aseichai, Hashem tells a person what is his speech, we're talking about what's the kind of the essence of his speech, what's the result of his speech, what's the sum total of his speech, right? This is a pasuk, by the way, used in Gemara to say that even a private sicha conversation between a husband and his wife at the time of passion is also recorded someplace. That's what the Gemara darshans out of this pasuk. But he's gonna basically, the main point of this parak, and he's gonna bring a lot of proof for this, is one thing, to understand that our speech is significant, right? That it's not just, okay, I spoke, I said, like, meaning in business, you could say speech is not necessarily always significant. If you didn't write a contract, okay, it's just speech. It's words. Words are not always binding when it comes to business, even though, again, Gemara says they are binding, but I'm just saying, but it's not a legal, it's right, it's not necessarily a legal device. On the other hand, but he's telling you, but really in the world of spirituality, every word has, just like every action has ripple effects, so too every word that a person says also has ripple effects. Okay, that's basically the sum total of this parak. Right? That's why he wants to tell you that when the pasuk says they tell a person what is his speech, they don't just, there's no like videotape that just says, oh, you said this bad word on such and such day, and you said this good word on such and such date, and this tefillah was good, and this learning was good. It's not just like a record of my speeches, but it's also, again, what's the ripple effect of my word, which, oh, this is what your word did, this is what your word did. Sum total of all of that is brought to light. Okay, so let's just see now that in the text. Here's here kan es ha'odom. Over here, the pasuk is warning a man, because he is now placed in this lowly world. Because he has no sense, he doesn't see, can't envision, can't even realize the binyan, the building, or the destruction, chas v'shalom, hanasa l'mayla, that is created above, b'ha'olamis, in the spiritual worlds, mikol dibur v'dibur shaloi, from every speech and speech that of his, every word and word of his, right? So, for example, when we're going to gather by, in a short time, and we're going to gather by our Seder tables, we're going to speak, so we have no idea the power of that speech, of that Sipur Yitzias Mitzrayim, of that just retelling, seemingly simple retelling of Yitzias Mitzrayim. We have no idea the effects and the impact that speech creates. But so a person can think on his mind, loimer, what's the value of this light talk that I'm talking? It's nothing. It's no big deal. That it would actually has impact, has ramification, and has significance in the world. A person should trust me, trustfully know, that every speech and light, every word and light speech of his, anything that he moves with his lips, lo yisaved, it's not lost. And it's not for batal. Every speech has a consequence. Every word has a consequence. Everything that a person says has a consequence. I'm skipping this Haggadah for now. It's a lengthy Haggadah which goes into a seeming tangent. All right, and I'm just going to read through a bunch of sources that he brings to prove his point. Okay, so the next line is Ukamashikosov Besaba. Again, it's a type of part of the Zohar. Like it's written in the Zohar, Filu Hevel the Puma. Even the Hevel the Puma. Hevel means breath, the Puma of our mouth, right? A breath from our mouth. Asar v'duchta isla. It has a place. V'kutsha brichu ovid minei made ovid. HaKadosh Baruch Hu does with it what He does with it. Afilu mila devarnash, even a word from a person. V'afilu kala, even a voice. Lo have berikanya. It's not for nothing. V'asar v'duchta isla hulukulu. For all of these things, there is a place and a place. I don't know what the difference between asar and duchta, but they both mean place. Okay, that's one place in the Zohar. Next, with Parshas Mitzorah, Kol mila de apik barnash mepume. Every word and word that a person lets go from his mouth, salka le'ela, it goes up above, ubokar akiyin, and splits through the heavens, ve'olas la'asar de'olas, and goes to the place that it's supposed to go up to. Okay, ubereish Parshas Nosa, And again, similarly in Parshas Nosa, the Ahu Mila de Apik Bar Nashim Pume, that word that a person releases from his mouth, Salko Bokar Akin, goes up and splits through the heavens, V'kaima Ba'asar de Kaima, and stands upon the place that it stands. Again, similar idea that each word is kind of goes up and finds its target in Shemayim. Shekol hayotzim mipiv, anything that comes out from a person's mouth, yosel l'mayla, does something up above, and stirs up some power up above. Hein b'dibur tov, whether it's good for good word, moisiv koyach b'koyach seklushim, then it adds force to the holy forces. V'osim dvorai b'fichel l'toy shom, like it says in pasuk in Yeshayahu. In Yeshayahu it says, "V'osim dvarai mipicha," put my words into your mouth, and then the pasuk continues, "Lintoya shamayim," to plant heavens. Right. So the words themselves, they are part of the creative process of Olam Haba. Right. Okay. Ubezoyar Omar, again Parshas Emor, and again another place in Zohar, the leislach mila, there is no word. Uman de apek mila kadishim pume, a person who lets go, says a holy word from his mouth. Mila de araisa, for example, a word of Torah. Yisavid minei kola. From that, there's created a voice. V'solik le'ela, goes up above. V'soruk doishe malkoi lo, and the holies of the holy king are stirred up. Umisatron bereishay, and they crown his head. And then there's happiness up above and down below. Okay. If you look at another places in Zohar, you'll see incredible things about the holy words of Torah that people speak. So all of the worlds, they brighten up from the simcha, from the happiness. And vigil and different rejoicing. They go into the holy chambers, and they crown him with the holy crown. Again, look in another place. Okay, so again, all of this is just to stress the point that we have no possible comprehension what our words do, and perhaps even you could say even more than the physical action, because we are essentially a medaber, right? The Torah calls us a medaber, a speaking being. Okay, let's just read through some of this. And this is explained further in Tikkunim. Shekmikol dibur v'kol v'hevel deraisa, from every speech and voice and just breath of Torah. Oid tzloisar, of prayer. Nivroim kama malachim kedoshim. There are created many holy angels. Ubehepach, and in reverse. But dibur asher lo toiv, in a word, in a speech that's not good. Hu boine rikim v'ilom shel shov l'samach mem. He creates worlds and heavens for the samach mem, whatever, the sitra achra, the other side. V'goyrim chas v'sholem harisas v'churban oilomas, and he causes destruction in the worlds. Sidrei Merkava, in the arrangements of God's chariot. Hakadosh, the Holy One. Hanoigim l'shorish hadibur, that are connected to the root of dibur. And remember, we said that dibur is connected to, right, the reason why he's talking about these three things, action, dibur, and thought, is because there are three levels of a person's soul. There is the nefesh and the ruach and the neshama.
And dibur
So
is
this is
connected to the higher.
dibur is connected to the ruach right now. That's what he's saying. Dibur is connected to the middle level.
So
the
actions
ruach.
are connected to...
Actions are connected to the nefesh, to the lower level.
So it's the
Ruach, the higher, is going to be the thought.
The thought, that's right. Yeah.
Right. Okay. V'ayin zohar, the holeis l'chtav ubish.
You do more damage with a thought than with an action.
Well, it's complicated. Let's get there. We'll talk about it. It's yes and no. Yes and no. So, in some aspects, you do more damage with action than with speech and thought. In some aspects, again, that's where it gets a little more technical. Mm-hmm. Anyways, okay, so this is V'olam Labrius, again, another place where it says, "Oh, woe unto the creations. Shuroyos, they see, vein and yoidos mahem royos. They see, but they know not what they see. Ke'ein lecho dibur she'ein lamokum. For there is no word that doesn't have a place. Ke'oif hashamayim yoilech esakoil. For the birds of the heavens will carry the voice. V'kama alfei ma'orei de gadfei de achdin lo. How many thousands winged creatures are grabbed onto it? Meaning over here, so the bird of the heavens is referring to malachim, right? So winged creatures are malachim. So you have no idea how many thousands of winged creatures are grabbing onto each word. And they bring the word up, lebale hadin, to the judgment, and it's judged. Whether for good or for bad. In another place, in Parshas Kedoshim, v'leis lecho milo u'miler, there's no word in the word. V'kama kistoirin meschabrin ime da'hu kola. How many? This is for the negative. How many negative angels are grabbed onto each word? Ad salkol v'isayed asad t'hoim rabba, until the depths is awakened, the deep is awakened. V'kama mesorin lei da'hu banash. Vailaman da'apik milo bishum poi. Oh, woe unto the person who lets a negative word out of his mouth. Uksiv, and then finally the last place. It says, why would Hashem get angry on your voice? And gets be terrorized by the action of your hands. Omru, and they said, the Gemara says, Godol ha'omer befiv min ha'oisa b'maseh. Over here, it's greater what it says about speech than about action. Meaning, the anger of Hashem regarding speech seems to be more stronger than about negative actions. V'omru zal, and in other places, kol ha'machlev b'diburoi ki'ilu ovid avodas kol. A person who disregards his speech, who just he says one thing and then does another, that's as if he serves avodah zarah, right? Because again, speech has to mean something. If it doesn't mean anything, then nothing means anything. Zeu shekosov. Now, so after this lengthy discourse, he goes back to the original pasuk. Zeu shekosov umagid leodam aseichai, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells magid leodam, tells a person what is his speech. Rotze loimer, he means to say shebeis amoid haodam lo seis din v'cheshbon lefonos baruch. When a person goes up to give accounting, to give din v'cheshbon for his actions and his words, Oz hu is baruch magid loy hasoy. Then HaKadosh Baruch Hu reveals to him the secret, rosa de milsa, the secret of the thing. Masher gorim seichel lemala be'lo mesei learning. What really was, what were the repercussions and ripple effects of his words that he said during his lifetime? Like I said from the beginning, Shloshan Hagoda, that when talking about Hagoda, Perusha Rosa de Milsa, it means to give over the secret, the essence of the thing. Okay? So sum total of Perek Yud Gimel was that words are significant, and in some ways more significant than action, and every word has spiritual repercussions, whether it's a good word, whether it's a bad word, everything, there's nothing is for naught. Everything that we do, think, act, it's all part of the master plan. Okay.